Good morning to you all, and welcome to the Gospel of Joy. My name is Reverend Josh Knappenberger. I'm the pastor at St. James UCC in Allentown. If you've been with us before, you know that, but hey, there are people who join us every day. And if you've been with us before, thank you and welcome back. If you were with us yesterday, we had some technical difficulties, and I still don't know what happened. I have some theories, but I'm not sure exactly what happened yesterday. So I apologize for that. Hopefully today and all the videos into the future will go well. But I hope you enjoy this enough to come back tomorrow, and if not, I hope we've given you enough laughs to get through today. Good morning, Mark. That's okay, Donna. That's okay. Yesterday we had a lot of technical difficulties anyway, as I said. Do you know that I've been doing this for 4 weeks? It's been 4 weeks, 28 days today. 28 Tuesday 4 weeks ago was the first time I did this. I can't believe I have enough material for this, but I guess as they say, God will provide. And one more note about the video yesterday. Usually the viewership for these videos is between about 38 and 54 or something like that. Yesterday the viewership was 70. I had 70 views. So I guess God has a sense of humor. More views than normal on a video that doesn't go well. But God has a sense of humor. I just don't always get the joke. That's okay. Good morning, Joni. Good morning, Carl. Good to have you with us. All right. As always, you can check the YouTube channel, St. James UCC Allentown. I put 2 videos up yesterday. I'm going to try to remember to put this video up later today. You can tag, tell, and share your friends. Share this video with your friends. Anyone who needs a laugh today, anyone who needs some joy in their life as they are stuck at home looking at the same 4 walls or the same people every day, you can tag, tell, and share and let them know, because joy and laughter does very little if it doesn't go anywhere. Good morning, Fred. Also in front of St. James UCC on 15th Street, there is a book box with books for the community, children's books. Stop by, take one, maybe leave one. Leave a book, and there should be 1 or 2 crosses in there yet with palms if you want to take with you a reminder of the resurrection. All right, my buddies today. I am going to start doing another combiner for you. Now this one's that one that was big and red and had wings. Yeah, that was 5 robots put together. This one's going to be 5 robots put together too, but he's not going to be as big, but he's still going to be pretty cool. So I'm going to show you the first of them. They are the Technobots. This one's name is Nosecone because he's got the drill on the back, and yeah, they're called the Technobots, which is interesting because they were the last Transformers created in the TV show, and so they're the youngest Transformers. And it's interesting that they have the name Technobots because in Greek, technon means child or new, which is why we use the word technology to describe an advancement in science, because it's new. It's like a child, and it's got all the problems with it. We don't understand new technology. We don't understand our children. So anyway, little bit of Greek lesson, but this is the first of the Technobots that I'm showing you. His name is Nosecone, and he's got a sword and a gun, and he's going to be pretty cool when he's combined up with his other buddies. The other one I have for you is the first Transformer that was seen in the 2007 Michael Bay movie. He's a Decepticon. He is get my hand out of the way. He transforms into a helicopter. He's about 15 inches tall, so he's pretty big. He's got that thing spins on the side. The other blades are sort of a cape in the back. And when he is in helicopter mode, he's about 50 inches long. So he's pretty big. He's a big boy. And he comes with a buddy of his own, actually. Because in that first scene, a smaller transformer flew off his back into the desert sand, and this guy's name is Scorponok. He's just a little scorpion with a tail and claws. So, yeah, those are my buddies today. More tomorrow. Good morning, Margaret. It's good to see you. Good morning, Fred. It's good to see you as well. Good to have you with us. How are you doing? All right. Now, it's been said, yeah, it is Blackout, Mark. His name is Blackout. That's right. I didn't say his name, but his name is Blackout. And he's a cool figure. So it's been said many times, a person could be in a room full of people and still be the loneliest person in the world, and that's true. But if some people are often lonely in a crowd, how intense does that loneliness become when they're told they cannot go outside, when they cannot even be around other people? Yesterday, I talked about substance abuse in this time of staying at home, and admittedly, I know nothing about substance abuse, but loneliness is something I do know about, and I'll get to that in a little bit. There's something else you have to remember. Many of us have families and children, or at least spouses. Some of us are still going to work and reassociate with people there. But if we don't have anyone at home with us, most of us have friends and family that we can talk to on the phone or Skype or Zoom or Facebook. But it's important to remember that some people among us have nobody. It's hard to imagine, but for some people, they have absolutely nobody. No one to call or call them. Now, as I said, substance abuse is not something I know about from personal experience that I talked about yesterday. But as an extreme introvert, I have felt some deep loneliness in my time. For me, it came from the idea that nobody did or would ever care about me. Good morning, Wendy. Loneliness is a real thing, and it is destructive. Loneliness is even more destructive when we are forced to stay in our houses or small apartments, and when some people only have the same four walls to look at every day and nobody to talk to. And depression comes pretty quickly in the presence of loneliness, when you feel as though nobody cares about you or wants you around. And it's too close of a leap to cause that feeling to be a reality. Now, I was never low enough to even consider trying suicide, but I've known people who were, and I've walked with people who were in this place. It is a valley of darkness like no other. But even in that valley, we can remember the 23rd Psalm. Thou art with me. Now, people in that valley need and deserve to have reminders of Christ's presence in that valley. And when you're in the valley, you can't bring that reminder to yourself. Once again, we are all called to be the hands, feet, and voice of Christ. Some of us know people who have no one in these times. We can't visit them, but we can send letters to them. We can call them. We can Facebook message them. There are things we can do to let them know that Christ is with them and our thoughts are with them and we care about them as they are in this dark valley. And we remind them that for all of us, whether we live or whether we die, say it with me, come on, we belong to Jesus Christ. That's right. Now, on with the funnies. Don't forget to comment which joke is your favorite in the comments. Let's get to some laughing. All right. We are finishing up the comparative ministries today of Jesus and Pastor Ramsey, who is a random pastor in this, who was mentioned in this book. Good morning, Cynthia. Okay, Jesus casts out demons. Pastor Ramsey turns on nightlights. Jesus overturns money changers' tables. Pastor Ramsey puts away folding tables. Jesus cleanses lepers. Pastor Ramsey has changed dirty diapers. Jesus is the light of the world. Pastor Ramsey is the turner of light switches. Jesus stands at the door and knocks. Pastor Ramsey has the church key. Jesus calls his disciples, and Pastor Ramsey, it says emails session, but I'm going to change it. Pastor Ramsey Zooms. Okay, this one, it's a long story. It's entitled Firefighters Wedding Fired Up Everybody. FMC member Reverend Paul Lintern, a humorist and frequent contributor to the Joyful Noise letter, is associate pastor of First English Lutheran Church, Mansfield, Ohio. He tells the following story. Over the course of 100+ weddings, I have had the opportunity to perform ceremonies in many places outside of the traditional church setting. From exotic Captiva Island overlooking the Gulf Coast in Florida, to a gazebo on the shore of Lake Erie, to a sandbox in a friend's backyard, I have been privileged to officiate black and white striped t-shirt with a whistle around my neck at a wide variety of public nuptial ceremonies. I have officiated at such theme weddings as Western, Poolside, and Hippie. I even performed a wedding once at a bridal show in Wooster, Ohio, with the bridal party modeling the latest in fashion while I modeled the latest in black clergy shirt and black suit. But my most unusual wedding was at a fire museum last year in Mansfield, Ohio. The Firefighters Museum seemed a logical setting since the groom was a local firefighter and the couple was on fire for each other. Aww. Newlyweds. We gathered in a room surrounded by fire trucks, hoses, equipment, and uniforms, memorabilia from a century and more of firefighting. The groom and the groomsmen were dressed in full regalia, carefully scrubbed yellow fireproof coat and pants, with huge boots and air packs and masks, complete with helmet. The bridesmaids also wore the same yellow coats and pants, but with open-toed boots and lace bodice with a series of red bows in place of their air packs. The bride arriving in hook and ladder, symbolizing the way her heart was hooked by the bridegroom and that they had almost eloped, had a traditional white wedding dress, but with boots underneath, the full hoop skirt, and a helmet and air mask replacing the veil. That's creative. With Van Halen singing Jump on CD, not live, she jumped off the extended ladder into the antique circular symbolizing eternal love safety net, held by the entire wedding party. After the EMTs were called and placed the bride on a blackboard, with the ceremony continued. Music included a beautifully presented harp and flute rendition of Light My Fire, followed by a powerful oboe and guitar version of St. Elmo's Fire. The father of the bride then sang a tearful Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. I read scripture passages being rescued from sin and avoiding the lake of fire, then admonished the whole party to join as one department, working together to fan the flames of the Holy Spirit. The wedding party had recently joined a church that met in the firehouse, called themselves Latter-day Saints, Ladder, not Latter. The vows were meaningful. They promised to love and cherish each other forever, keeping the embers glowing. They both also promised to quit smoking. Following the ceremony, a reception was held in the museum with guests sitting in and on the trucks. I enjoyed a meal atop a vintage 1930 pumper truck, eating smoked sausage and German potato salad. After the reception, which the last department did not leave until early morning, just to make sure there were no flare-ups, the couple left for the honeymoon in the Smoky Mountains. That's just a cute story. Again, this should be called the tongue-tied gospel. A cute story with a few little chuckles throughout. And this is a quote by Stanley Baldwin. Fires can't be made with dead embers, nor can enthusiasm be stirred by spiritless men. And on to the other book. Let's start with... This one is entitled Clown's Prayer. This is the Clown's Prayer of Smiles Unlimited, a clown ministry to hospitals, including nursing homes and prisons based in Indianapolis. Lord, as I stumble through this life, help me to create more laughter than tears, dispense more happiness than gloom, spread more cheer than despair. Never let me become so indifferent that I will fail to see the wonder in the eyes of a child or the twinkle in the eyes of the aged. Never let me forget that my total effort is to cheer people, make them happy, and forget at least for a moment all the unpleasant things in their lives. And Lord, in my final moment, may I hear you whisper, when you made my people smile, you made me smile. Incidentally, there is a clown ministry in the Lehigh Valley. They call themselves the Disciples of Joy, and I've had them in my previous church. I had them come and do a presentation for the end of Sunday school, and it was very funny. It was very, very well done. They're very good. Look them up, Disciples of Joy. And I have some one-liners. They are titled April Fool's Day Meditations. I know April Fool's Day was 20 days ago, but we're going to hear these April Fool's Day meditations, and I have more for the days to come. This one is by Mark Twain. April 1 is the day upon which we are reminded of what we are on the other 364. St. Francis of Assisi said, I am to be a new kind of fool in this world. Marcus Cato said, wise men learn more from fools than fools from wise men. And Winston Churchill said, and I think this one's pretty good, the greatest lesson in life is to know that even fools are right sometimes. It's like the old, I had a busted watch once and it was right twice a day. This one's kind of appropriate. I don't like to get political here, but it's still in the Holy Humor book. This one was sent in by Dr. Thomas Zaz, Professor Emeritus of Psychiatry, State University of New York, Syracuse. Bureaucrats, politicians, quacks, and the assorted mountebanks of the hindering professions are in the habit of saying everything in earnest. If we want to protect ourselves from them, we had better hear what they tell us in jest, lest the joke be on us. Oh, I didn't know you've had the clown ministry at St. James. Well, I'm sure they were very funny for you, Carol. This one was sent in by Reverend Robert E. Harris of Asheville, North Carolina. The person who looks inward usually ends up with eye trouble. I being the capital letter I in quotes. And this one is a quote from Albert Schweitzer, and it's good advice. Do something for somebody every day for which you do not get paid. And this is another long one. We're going to end on another long one. This one is from the fundraising fund, stewardship chapter. And the title is, Why Not Use Commercials in Your Sunday Services? I believe I was the first to, this one was sent in by FMC member Fred M. Sevier of Sun City, Arizona. I believe I was the first to suggest passing out green trading stamps at church to stimulate attendance. That idea never did take hold, though I still think it would have been more effective than giving attendance pins or putting stars on charts. Now I have another idea to help churches meet or even exceed their budgets. Advertisers pay millions to market their products on television. Why can't churches get in on this bonanza? Why not incorporate a few brief commercials into the Sunday service? It might be a little distracting at first, but people could get used to it. They've gotten used to a lot of things that have been incorporated into worship services. I feel sure that church members could tolerate a few ads during the Sunday service, especially if they reasoned that it would relieve them of a good part of their obligation to support their church financially by themselves. The pastor could pause periodically during his sermon and say, I'll be right back with my next point after these words from Frosty Fruity Flakes, or from whatever product of the day. With a little ingenuity, the church choir could even be utilized to sing little ditties to enhance the ads. It would especially appeal to potential advertisers that they would have captive audiences in church congregations. People just couldn't get up and go to the refrigerator or to the bathroom during the commercial. They would just have to sit there and listen. Two stories about commercials. My father hated commercials. He would actively mute the TV when commercials came up. He felt that they disrupted his shows, and they did, but he neglected to realize the intrigue that was created by them, because if you end the commercial on a cliffhanger in the show, you're going to wait for the next thing to come. So it created suspense in a way. But I'll share a not so funny danger with commercials and TV, and it comes from the book Fahrenheit 451, if any of you have ever read it, where Jesus is reduced to basically being a spokesperson for soap, I think, or some other kind of menial everyday product around the house. And so, yes, that was tongue-in-cheek, but there is very real danger in that, and I felt I had to share that in case any of you thought that might actually be a good idea. All right. Will you pray with me? Dear God, we give you thanks for bringing us to this place once again, to hear your word and to laugh and to have joy and to remind ourselves that you are with us in the darkest valley and you are with those around us as they travel through their darkest valley. We ask that you continue to be with us in the days ahead as we continue to be in this dark valley as a nation, as a state, as communities, as individuals. Help us to remember that there are people around us who love us, and that we are people around other people who we love. And help us to remember to remind them of that so that they will know it, that they will find a way through this dark valley with you as their guide, as you are with all of us. Amen. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay inside. I'll be here again at 10:30 tomorrow with more jokes. It's funny, a couple weeks ago, my sister said to me, "Are you afraid of running out of material?" And I said to her, "No, because first of all, I have a lot. Second of all, God will provide. And third of all, if I really do run out of all of them, I'll just recycle some because, let's face it, you don't remember all of them. And some of them are classics that can be told over and over again. So if you end up hearing some that you've heard before, that's what's happening. What I'm concerned about is running out of buddies. But again, God will provide as many as I need to give you new buddies every day. So with that, may God keep you in the stitches of laughter and love today, tomorrow, and into eternal life. Amen. See you tomorrow.